By now, most people are familiar with Joaquín Guzmán, or El Chapo, the former leader of the notorious Sinaloa Cartel from Mexico. His heinous crimes and reputation as a vicious leader, as well as his well-documented escape from a Mexican prison in 2015. However, many didn't know that El Chapo's 2015 escape from prison wasn't the first time he had evaded the Mexican authorities' grasp. He also made a daring escape from prison back in 2001. And today we're going to take a look at his arrest and the events leading up to his initial escape. Let's get into it. El Chapo's reputation as the sinister leader of the notorious Sinaloa Cartel precedes himself, and has so for decades. Back in 1993, an initial manhunt was already underway to track down and take down the cartel leader under the supervision of then Mexican President Vicente Fox. In June of that year, Guzmán was arrested in Guatemala after the manhunt stemming from the murder of Mexican Cardinal Juan Jesus Posadas Ocampo. Following the arrest, Guzmán was successfully extradited back to Mexico to stand trial. Guzmán was found guilty of multiple crimes and was imprisoned at the Federal Social Readaptation Center, also known locally as La Palma, a maximum security prison located in Almoloya de Juarez. In 1995, he was transferred to another prison, known as Punta Grande, located in Jalisco. While he was sentenced originally to face 20 years in prison, once he was transferred to Punta Grande, he was able to enjoy a fairly comfortable lifestyle, as many of the prison guards and workers were secretly on his payroll. Things were so comfy for Guzmán that while incarcerated in Jalisco, he was able to enjoy comforts, such as a full menu of food to order, cell phone usage to continue running cartel business, and sporadic visits from friends and prostitutes. While he was forced to live within the confines of the maximum security facility, he continued to exact his influence over the cartel and live a charmed life. However, he knew that he needed a plan, and quick, as rumors of a potential agreement to extradite him to the United States for sentencing based on pending drug trafficking charges. Guzmán, knowing fully well that his influence would be worthless on the other side of the Mexican-America border, hatched a plan to solve the issue at hand. Using his massive power stature, Guzmán arranged an escape plan from Punta Grande. In January of 2001, it is on record that his electronically locked cell door was opened, and Guzmán was escorted outside of the prison by one of the guards, who hid the cartel boss inside of a laundry cart. On top of that, the prison security cameras were dismantled, and El Chapo was a free man once again. The guard that assisted in his escape, known within the cartels as El Chito, drove Guzmán away from the prison, and the pair headed towards the city of Guadalajara. Along the way, Guzmán requests that he stop for a bottle of water. Chito entered a gas station to get the water for him, and when he returned to the parking lot, Guzmán and the car were gone. Around this same time, prison guards back at Punta Grande realized that El Chapo was gone, and chaos ensued, with guards and prison staff searching every inch of the prison's property for the cartel leader with no luck. Seemingly as quickly as news of the escape hit the public, the Mexican government relaunched their massive manhunt, and the chase for El Chapo was started again. In the following days, dozens of tips led Mexican officials to multiple locations that were raided for any search of Guzmán, but they were all unsuccessful. By this time, the manhunt had reached a massive scale, with hundreds of Mexican offers scattered across the entire country looking for any information regarding Guzmán's location. Eventually, after a period of hiding, Guzmán reemerged and reclaimed and solidified his status in the Sinaloa hierarchy, bouncing from safe house to safe house over the next year to avoid being tracked down. El Chapo would continue to evade capture by Mexican authorities for the next 13 years, having remained a free man until his recapture in 2014. There are numerous tales of public appearances and events that created a true mystique around the man. There are also more than a few occasions where the Mexican authorities had solid leads and came within inches of capturing El Chapo, only for him to continue to barely escape their grasp. This includes a 2004 mission that involved a tip regarding a social event in Sinaloa that the Mexican authorities confirmed to be visited by Guzmán. In order to gain the benefit of surprise, the Mexican Air Force was deployed to attempt to crash the party and take Guzmán back into captivity. However, as per usual, Guzmán barely escaped on foot, as the soldiers descended from the raid helicopters used in the operation. The answer to the question, how did El Chapo escape his first prison stint in 2001, is simple. His power and influence was not taken seriously enough by the Mexican government. Being able to secure a transfer to a facility crawling with his employees, the cartel leader was able to continue to grow his operations and plot an escape easily. In retrospect, a much firmer hand should have been used to deal with the sinister leader. A simple answer can be used to describe his 2015 escape from Mexican prison, in which he utilized a tunnel that had been dug out underneath his cell's shower area. The guards and leadership of the prison simply did not take enough care in ensuring that he was completely cut off from those that he could use his influence on to continue to do his bidding. However, not all ended well for the leader of the Sinaloa Cartel. Guzmán was arrested a third time by Mexican authorities in 2016 at a house in northern Sinaloa in a raid that cost the lives of more than 10 people. This time, the United States did not wait a second, and immediately began the process to extradite him to America to stand trial for his crimes of drug trafficking. The process was completed, and Guzmán was sent to America in January of 2017, where he was eventually found guilty on all counts in 2019, sentenced to over 30 years in prison in order to forfeit over $12 billion. He was placed in ADX Florence, the U.S.'s more secure prison, and hasn't been heard of since. While El Chapo was able to use his influence on Mexican soil to escape from prison multiple times, the same cannot be said for American soil, and it's highly likely that Guzmán will spend the remainder of his life in prison. What do you think? What could the Mexican government have done better to ensure that El Chapo never escaped from their prisons? Be sure to let me know in the comments, and be sure to like and subscribe for more.